Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This stream takes a different form. Usually, I would have a countdown and all of that, but not this time around. This is more of a disappointing note. What's your thoughts on the match?
Um, you were breaking up a bit, Ty. Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you still not able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well now. Yeah, it's like we're going backwards, Ty. Again, which is really sad. We're focusing on stupid things. Look at the
Are you still there, Bobby?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if it was my
Okay.
was giving
No, I
problems.
think I don't know what it was. I think it's my end as well. If I if my screen, I'm using my phone, so if my screen times out, I think it times me out on the platform. I guess where I was I was talking about the midfield and uh, uh, lack of not having Lavia. Um, it's a problem to us, and we're foolishly getting rid of Casaday and Vega, two elements of physicality that would have helped us today, helped us at least change the way we play and push forward a bit more, maybe play with two strikers. Sadly, as far as Sanchez is concerned, I've seen enough. His decision making for his age and his mistakes are just too many. And that's somebody that could cost Enzo Maresca his job. Um, we have gone backwards. I don't know. I can't see what we can do this transfer window. And it's too late in the day anyway to start making, these sort of big changes. Um, I really don't know what we can do. Chalobah, Chelsea's best centre back. What did they do? They sent him away. Oh, God. And kept Desassi and Badiashile. So somebody somewhere is making some stupid decisions. Okay, pure profit and all that, but really, you keep looking at your so-called pure profit, and you're not going to be in the Champions League at this rate. It's concerning. It's not good. It is concerning. It's like we've gone backwards. One win in seven, and you can't say that we were playing Man City every week. It is a problem now, and I don't know. The solution is there. Will he take it? At the moment, he keeps playing Jackson, keeps playing Noni, another one who really should have been substituted, because I understand trying to develop him, but when he's costing you the game, it's time to change him. This was a multiplicity of problems, and among the problems is Enzo Maresca himself.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'd say that I agree with you about it. It does seem like we're going backwards. It feels like, and we are going backwards. Um, but it goes back to what I've been saying for a while now, and the fact is that in terms of the players that we have and options, it's minimal. In terms of the attack, in terms of striker options, Nkunku is not a striker. Nkunku came on earlier than he usually would, and he generally gave me the vibe that he just doesn't want to be at Chelsea. He doesn't. He's not pressing. He's not doing anything. It felt as if we were playing with nine players. It just didn't feel as if he came on and did anything. And uh, it's very easy to just say that Jackson didn't do this, Jackson didn't do that. But the fact is, I've said this for a long time. Jackson's not a striker. He's being, as you rightfully said, they're trying to develop him to become a striker. But at the same time, you cannot be jeopardizing your progression because you want to do that. And you know, a lot of people have been saying that we should go and sign a striker. I'm in that boat that we need a striker. We've needed a striker since the window opened. That we need a striker from the summer. We didn't get Usman. We put our eggs in one basket, and in the end we left with an empty basket. So at the end of the day, that's another problem. But one of the biggest problems it goes down to Sanchez as well. The two goals. Sanchez was at fault for the two goals. For actually two of those goals, two of the three goals, especially. And that first goal, I really want to scrutinize Madueke, and I might do that. Whenever it comes on to try to do the offside trap, I don't know what it is, but there's always one player that messes up that offside trap that the team tries to do. In this instance, it was Madueke, unfortunately. Um, and then the next thing you see Sanchez coming out. I don't know what he's doing because Kukurea is literally running down the player. He could most likely get the ball, and you opt to come out. Poor communication. You're coming out. You take out Kukurea as well. Vario gets the ball. He just tries to sit into the back of an empty net. That is down to poor decision making. The second goal, not even to mention that, it's even worse. He's outside of the box. I don't know what the hell he's trying to do, and then he proceeds to try to hit the ball. He raises his hand, try to hit the ball, and try to keep it out. But I don't know. It's like they say, you're your worst enemy, and right now, Chelsea are the worst enemy. We were doing um a lot of positive things for months, but it's like I've said in the past. The cracks are always there. And we've been saying this. I know you in particular, Bobby, on this channel as well. You've said that that we cannot go anywhere with Sanchez in goal, and this is a perfect example of it. And we can't blame anybody but ourselves in that sense, because we had the opportunity to address it. We didn't address it, so at the end of the day, we're suffering the price of poor decisions. So we have to just simply do what we have to do, and just accept that at the end of the day we put ourselves in the situation that we are in. So big up to you, Makin, Neom, big up to you. Thank you for joining. Big up to you, Nehemiah Foley, and big up to you, Garvan. Nehemiah Foley says Maresca should stop defending Sanchez. Yeah, I mean, I tweeted about this. I don't know what Bobby thinks, but when I heard Maresca say that, oh, everybody makes mistakes, all of it, yeah, that's true. Everybody makes mistakes, but you cannot be justifying a poor decision or poor decision making by your goalkeeper, because it doesn't make sense. No matter what you do, if you cannot trust your goalkeeper, it makes no sense. And he's gonna say that, oh, Chalaba makes mistakes, Levi Cole makes mistakes, this player makes mistakes. Yes, they make mistakes, but that doesn't mean that him making poor decisions is okay, or that they made those decisions is okay. Yeah, they're learning. Levi Cole is still learning, but you cannot expect that the fans are going to buy what you're selling them, and what you're saying. I don't get it. I generally don't get it. Um, but Makin is saying Jackson and Enzo Fernandez have been terrible for a while now. Well, I'm not going to say anything about Enzo Fernandez, because I don't want anybody to scrutinize me any further. I can't take it, especially after this defeat. But yeah, Bobby, um,
Yeah.
what would you suggest we as a solution? You said that the solution is there. But what you suggest is a solution going forward, because right now top four is in jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's been training all season with playing with one striker. So to suddenly switch to playing with two could be problematic, especially if we don't have the physicality midfield to absorb that. I think he sticks to players for too long. I don't want him to go and start criticizing Sanchez to the media. He doesn't need to do that. He just needs to drop him. Change him. You don't have to slate him. Yeah, you can say, yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Yeah, that's good politics, game politics. But drop him, because I think that his performance today is not acceptable. And it is now the opportunity to try Jorgensen. Um, I don't know how good Jorgensen will be in the Premier League. Every time he's played, he's not really done anything wrong. So play him. Jackson as well. It's time to change. Yeah, people say Jackson isn't a striker. They're trying to make him a striker. Okay, but his misses are expensive. He misses too many chances. It's time to change. It's time to play a striker. If you're saying Jackson isn't a striker, then play Gui up there. At least have somebody that we know is a striker. Is he good enough? No, he's 18 years old. But that's what we've got. I don't accept that Nkunku isn't trying. I think he came on, he did his game. He ran back, he defended, he ran forward. But, his game is starkly different in terms of ball winning to Jackson's game. And it was noticeable. Nkunku is a fox in the box. You need to give him the ball in the box and he'll finish it. He's a finisher. But all this sort of build up play and that, it's not really him. Um, yeah, Noni he's showing, look, he's not good enough. Yeah, he scored a tap in again, but he's another one, always being beaten on the ball. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying he's not good enough to be given 90 minutes. He needed to have been changed. You could, although they say Sanchez was tired. Sancho. was tired. Hence, that's why they left Noni on. Okay, I can accept that. Then that does mean perhaps we do need another winger in the transfer market. But all this idea of, oh, we need to get rid of this, get rid of that.
Yeah. Big up Blue Blood FC. Thank you for the donation, for the £10 donation. Appreciated. It says top
Did you stop
analysis. Big up.
hearing me?
It says big.
Uh,
So it says big
Did
up.
I cut?
Big,
Did I cut out?
yeah, I think he cut out. It says
Oh,
big up.
okay.
Big up, Tyron and Bobby. Maresca needs to be scrutinized. His port taxes must be adjusted immediately. Well,
Yeah.
welcome, Garvin. I don't know what you have to say about that. And if you're okay with it, Bobby, you can probably repeat the last part, or I don't know. Probably is a
Okay.
uphill battle.
Just to finish up quickly, yeah, Maresca has to change. He has to play with a striker and the backup strikers that he has in Nkunku and or Jackson. I don't think Jackson should be starting every game as if he's ripping up trees. He's missing a lot. However, having said everything, the absence and the continuous absence of people like Lavia and Fofana affects the team. The lack of physicality in midfield is because of the absence of a fit Lavia. So we need to have had somebody there rather than just sending people away as if we've got a team that can measure up with Man City. Whoever sent away Trevor Chalobah should be shot, should be lined up outside Stamford Bridge and shot. He's our best centre back. I don't buy this pure profit. It's madness. Pure profit, and then you end up outside the Premier League. I mean outside the Champions League positions. How's that gonna help you? So, we really do need a lot of clean house still.
Yeah. I'm gonna go on a run, if I may.
Please do, Gavin.
How you doing, Sir Bobby? It's an honor, as usual, to share the platform with you. Before I go on my run, I have to make my contribute to you, sir. A great man.
Oh, always a pleasure. My pleasure, really.
I was confident in the beginning of the season because I even come on here and said we're gonna finish second or third because I know what we got and the team that we got. But now I think that Moresca started off as being his own man, but now I think now he's turned into a puppet for the sporting directors that does not know what they're doing. And I keep on saying, if this go wrong, I'm not gonna blame Moresca this season. My biggest issue gonna be with the sporting directors. I keep on saying it since the summer. I make my voice heard about certain players that I don't think is good enough for Chelsea, and I get pushed back a lot because people tend to care about players and not Chelsea Football Club. But I can tell anyone, and Ty can notice because we speak behind the scenes that Chelsea Football Club means a lot to me because I even named my daughter Chelsea because of Chelsea Football Club. So I'm coming from way back with Chelsea, not because we're winning, but even before we start to win, from Franco Zola days. But now these sporting directors that we got, they don't know nothing about building a winning team. They're coming from a model that build players to sell players so they can sustain that club wherever they're coming from. And it's hard to get a sporting you hard to have a sporting direct like that in Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club is a winning machine. A team that over the years I've suffered, Bobby, where you can tell me from back in the days, but suffer for so many years and build a system where we turn into a winning machine. And to see these sporting directors come in and be playing games and mind games with this Chelsea Football Club that we all know and we all love, that we all grow and see win so many titles for the last 20 years. It's a shame. As I make my run on that too, I'm watching the Strasbourg game because I stopped watching the game and started watching the Strasbourg game with NJ Santos. He scored the equalizer for that team. He bring back his team from a losing point to a winning point. They just won the game. The game just finished. So to show you that everyone is gonna be on me. Oh, we already got Lavia. What you want to take him out of a loan spell where he's playing? We don't have Lavia. Lavia can't play 45 minutes at all. Every time he plays 45 minutes, he's injured. We got a player out there is balling out. He's not only defensively he's scoring goals too. He's better than what we got at this moment, different from Caicedo. He's the second best midfielder in the whole entire Chelsea team, right? Why are you gonna tell me that okay, look at Man City. Let me go to Man City. Look what Man City done. They go out, they splash the cash. They're bringing 3 players. Those players was supposed to come in the summer from Man City, but what they do, they bring them in from now so they can drill with the team. So next season, Man City can be up there challenging for the title. If you want to be a serious title contender, you have to bring in what you got. I don't want to hear, oh, let him stay out there because he's getting game time. He need to be in the team, bedding in with this team. If you want to be challenging next season for the title, what you want to come and tell me next season? Oh, we have to give them game time for a couple weeks or months for them to bed in. I don't think that's how football goes. Like you have the product, use the product. You got quality, use the quality, get rid of the quantity. Without these sporting directors' seats, the same thing with Chalaba, as you said, Sir Bobby. What they did with Chalaba, they sent him out on loan, then they look stupid because they have to bring him back. Because the Disasi and all these players that they bought in and thought they would have been better than Chalaba, they're still not better than Chalaba. Chalaba is the best defender right now we got in the team. That's fit. We can even say nothing about Fafana. Fafana doesn't show us for the last since we buy him for 2 years now, going to 3 years, that he's a good player. He's nothing at all to me because you're not representing Chelsea on the pitch. You're representing Chelsea at your home. So Chalaba is the best defense we got in the club at this moment. No one can tell me that, oh, Chalaba is not. Fafana is. Fafana does not prove it. I don't want to be saying any bad word right now, but because the way I feel about it. Forget about Fofana. Forget about Balia Shield. Forget about Disasi. Even Levi Colwell. Shalaba is the best defense we got in this team. And what you did, you sent Shalaba out. Right now, you have to call him back, and he come back in, and he settled right in. You said he cannot play the system, but now he's still the best defender in the system. So that to show you that these sporting directors are playing mind games with the Chelsea fans. Like they need to come out of the club like immediately, like ASAP. And this season, if Chelsea doesn't make the Champions League, someone would have to roll. That's what you said, Sir Bob. Line them up outside Stamford Bridge. Someone would have to roll for this because this is unacceptable for what they're doing to Chelsea Football Club. They having Chelsea Football Club like they're playing their video games. And this is not a toy. This is people emotion they're playing with. This is people feelings they're playing with. This is people mental health they're playing with. We have the team can finish in the top 4. But the signings that they're making are not good enough because what? They want to flip players. The time you want to spend to flip players, okay, I get it. Build a solid 14, 15-man squad, and then the rest you can flip around it. Build a solid squad and then flip around it. Come on, man. What they're doing is bullshit. Sorry, Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, Gavin, I can't argue with you. I think you're right. Um, you have to be able to now start to utilize what you have and utilize it efficiently. I don't subscribe to all this game time nonsense. As you've rightly said, look at Man City. They have players in their squad. Some of them play, some of them won't play for a few months. Look at the Brazilian guy they brought in, sat in the stand, not even on the bench. We have this foolish mentality that all our players should be playing 90 minutes. Oh, Nkunku's not playing. Nkunku's not happy. He has to go. Who gives a shit? Nobody gives a shit. The guy is well paid. He has 4 more years left of contract. What are we talking about? Utilize him. If you can't utilize him, rotate him. But he is obliged to be to strengthen us. Nobody else talks like this. Only Chelsea. Nobody else. Look at Man City. Bringing off De Bruyne off the bench. They already have his replacement in Mahmoud, that guy. He looks a really good player. You know, they just rotate comfortably. You know, John Stones coming off the bench to play the DM position. You know, I don't know. You know, there's a lot still to do at Chelsea. There is, and you know, if some decisions aren't made vis-a-vis the dropping of Sanchez, dropping of Noni, although we don't really have wingers, since one went to go and mess around with drugs. You know, we are back at the drawing board. You know, we made a mistake not getting a striker, because it's costing us. Because personally, I've seen enough of using Jackson as a striker. You know, his finishing is a problem, and he has to be rotated. It's that simple. But rotating with who? At the moment, it can only be in Kunku. But if we don't have another striker to bring in, I wouldn't start Jackson in the next game. You
Can
can't
I tap in on you,
reward.
sir, Bobby? Can I tap in
Yeah,
on you before I forget this point?
yeah,
Okay.
please.
Now we're going in the market, right? For Garnacho. What you doing with Garnacho when Jackson can play left? Get a striker and put Jackson out left because that's where he used to play. And he is a good left winger. So why you want to go in the market for a Garnacho when you have a Jackson that gonna give you work rate? He's gonna give you every single thing that you need except the finishing. So why don't get a bagsman and you still can fit Jackson in the team?
Yeah, yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree. I don't. I never subscribed to that whole Garnacho talk, and to make it even worse, talking about swapping him with Nkunku and that sort of nonsense. It just doesn't show a lack of knowledge of how to utilize the players we have.
I don't know if
Mm.
Ty want to comment. If you want to come in, or I can go because I got a lot to talk about. It's been a while since I do a Chelsea show. Because even what you said, sir Bobby, you're 100% correct. Because having the likes of uh, uh the guy from Manchester United, Gonacho, is
Mm.
still we're still gonna have an unbalanced squad. The squad is not gonna be balanced.
No,
It's gonna be an unbalanced squad like what we got right now. I know a lot of people been railing, oh, we got the best squad in the league. No, I've been
we have.
telling Ty this. We got an unbalanced squad. The squad is not balanced. There's no balance in the squad. I know a lot of people be saying because they want to be right about Enzo Fernandez, that's why they don't want to bring back Santos. We have an unbalanced squad because there's no replacement for Caicedo. There's no replacement for Lavia. So you got an unbalanced squad. You have the numbers, but you don't got the squad. The numbers is there, but the squad is not there, and that's what people fail to understand. Like with football, playing this game, you have to have a balanced squad. Just like when we got Michael Essien, we got John Obi Mikel, and who we got right there? We got Claude Makelele.
Chelsea's midfield is very deficient, and I still don't understand why they didn't bring back Santos, especially now that they're trying to sell Casaday. It just it beggars belief. This defeat today was a bad one, and it should never have happened.
I'm 100% correct. Ty, you there, Ty?
I think sometimes he has problems with his connection.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
hearing
we
you
can
now,
hear you.
Ty.
Right. You know what the problem was that I'm using a mic and the mic was muted. So I was talking a while ago. Well, yeah. So I had to step away due to some interruption. So, but I was listening to what you guys were saying. You did not ease off, Garvan, and boy, but yeah, I mean, that's why when I said that the best thing to do is to recall Santos, and there's this thing that I even said this on social media, and I got scrutinized for it because the narrative, and you mentioned that too, Garvan. The fact is, if Enzo Fernandez was not worth, or he didn't cost the club as much as he did, they wouldn't have talked about, this is the case, because Santos was more of a more feasible buy. He wasn't for a very expensive fee, or a large fee, I would say. So the whole essence of it, don't bring him back, you're gonna hinder his development. I don't understand where that mindset comes from, because I have seen that one of the biggest problems with mentality is the fact that we see players come in and they believe that, I had a good loan spell, so I must start. This is where you bring back the player, you give him the chance to readjust to the team now, and then you get that extra coverage, because you mentioned it. Enzo Fernandez does not offer what Casado or Lavia can offer. He will try, but that's not his game. He's trying to do something that he cannot do. And that's not to say that he's a horrible player. He's a good player. He's still not worth, he still hasn't proven that he's worth 100 million, and I don't want to be that type of fan. But the fact is, a price tag like that, as much as you can shake it, or it's not your fault, the fact is that you have to still prove your worth. So at the end of the day, he hasn't done that. He can create opportunities, fine, but you need more than that. And I mean, I generally think that if we had Lavia, or somebody that had that you can trust in the midfield, we wouldn't have to worry about the first goal in particular that we conceded, because the gap would not have been there. The whole issue of the offside trap failing, that wouldn't have been there. And it's more than one issue. We didn't take the chances. We could have been 2-0 up early on in that first half, but we didn't take the chance. Jackson had a chance; he would have been offside. But if you put the ball into the back of the net, you don't know what that can do to the team. We saw what happened. Omar Mamouche for Manchester City, the Egyptian that they signed, the new signing. He put the ball into the back of the net. It was offside. But what happened? They had that drive to say that, okay, we can get a goal. Vardiol missed two other chances before that. Score. Those things can do a that can do a lot for the team. So I mean, it's unfortunate that a lot of fans are oblivious to this, because anybody with the ability to see can see that the problems are there. And generally, I said this before. I said this on the last that I did before this one, that I don't see us getting top four as it stands, because we're not addressing the issues. We had the chance to address them. The windows are about to close in around 10 or 9 days, depending on when it closes. I don't remember when it does. So if we don't do that, we have enough time to still do something. You can recall Santos or Leslie, one of the two. We need that coverage in that midfield. The whole thing about, you can't have him on the bench, that's garbage. No player is supposed to be guaranteed to start matches. That should not be the case. You need competition. Complacency is going to creep in if you do that. So for the fans that say, don't bring him back because he needs to play minutes, he needs to get minutes to develop and all of that. You develop a player not just by playing them, but by getting them in a squad where they understand that competition is key. And that's something that at Strasbourg he may have that, but at the same time he's one of the best players that they have there. And a lot of players, a lot of fans don't understand the players that they have at their disposal, because we have a player in Santos who can win the ball back. He's very good as a ball winning midfielder as well. But people don't want to bring him back because he's not going to get matches. That's not true. And I stepped away at some intervals, so I don't know if you mentioned this, but if you guys realize, we know that Manchester City played a 3-man midfield
esque type of thing where you had Matthias Nunes playing as a inverted fullback or inverted midfielder, and because of that, he was able to come into the midfield to make it a three-man midfield because we know that traditionally they use a three-man midfield. If you notice, there's a lot of times where James had to be coming into that midfield to make it a three. So you can see what Maresca wants to do. He wants to use a three-man midfield because you know that a lot of the teams that you come up against, they're going to target Enzo, they're going to target Casado because they know that Casado is not God. He cannot do everything on his own. That's impossible. And we don't have that luxury. You call back a Lavi, you call back a Leslie, you have competition. Leslie can create opportunities as well. He's getting the chance at Southampton and he's proving it. Do that. The play is yours. It doesn't matter. Be selfish. It doesn't matter. He'll get the game time, and this is my problem. I've said this for many seasons now. You know that you have injury prone players. Plan for worst case. That's the only way you're going to be successful. You need to have depth. Gavin mentioned about the fact that you had SCN, you had Obi Mikel. You need to have that competition. You need players that can actually push them as well. Because nobody in this team is going to bench Casado. Nobody in this team will. Nobody in the team can bench Enzo because we either don't give them the opportunity to challenge or rival him, or we believe that he's good enough, so therefore we don't need to be worried about getting somebody else in. That is garbage. You need to bring somebody in or recall somebody that can help in that midfield because the depth is horrible. And as Bobby mentioned as well, the whole thing of you're going to sell Cassidy, you need to replace him. What's the plan? The story Douglas Luiz is not a feasible option. I don't think Douglas Luiz helps this team the way that we need it to. Stick with players that belong to you, and if you do that, you'll be perfectly fine. I just want to quickly do this before I get back Garvin and Bobby's thoughts. Thank you, Blue Belt FC. He's gifted 6 memberships. I don't know who got them, but whoever got them, congratulations. You're now a Chelsea session member, and you'll have access to some perks that come with being a member. So congratulations to those individuals that would have been gifted the membership for a month. But so thank you for that, Blue Belt FC. I appreciate it. But Bobby or Garvin, what else you guys want to to really see about this and looking forward? And starting with you, Garvin, since your mic is muted, do you, as it stands, do you see Chelsea getting top 4, or do you think it's in jeopardy?
My stance on it. If we start to do the right thing, if we get the striker that we need, we can make the top 4. Even though we know that the goalkeeper is not good enough for Chelsea Football Club, shouldn't even have it on as Chelsea jersey. But if we get a striker in by next week, for the next game, as I said, we can put Nicholas Jackson outside. That definitely give us top 4. Because now we got Chalobah in the defensive areas where you can see the difference, the more solidarity in that defense line, the leadership in that defense line. Different from the goalkeeper making that mistake today, we would have come away with probably a point. So you can see that it's that the defensive with Chalobah in there, it make it stronger, make it better. But as I said, we definitely need a striker. You make us something that I really want to tap in on that I was saying earlier too, and Sir Bobby. Understand with Enzo Fernandez, right? When he got dropped, I think in the early out in the season, right? When he get back into the squad, as you were saying about the rotation and players don't want to be on the bench, or people are saying that this player not going to get any minutes. If you notice the difference when Enzo get dropped and the difference of Enzo that come back into the squad for about 3 or 4 games in a row, you can see the Enzo. The same thing with Nodi Madueke. When he got dropped, you can see the hunger inside of him because he wants to stay in that starting 11. So there's nothing wrong with rotation. There's nothing wrong with players being dropped and player be called. Like, a player have to be ready when the coach call upon them. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Some of these players, you can see their body language, like they doesn't want to be there. And Kuku. Sorry, Ty, man. I'm just frustrated, man. Sorry. It's been a while. I have to give it all.
No, you don't need to apologize. I mean, you're having your Ipswich rant moments. I had my rant after the Ipswich match, and I have no more ranting to do. I mean, I'll just reimburse and you in terms of not monetary, but reimburse you in terms of giving you the opportunity to just give your thoughts. Because as I said, Chelsea sessions, the channel is to give fans the opportunity to express themselves, whether it's good feelings or bad feelings. The only thing is that the only thing I've shied away from doing is having cursing because I don't know. Sometimes YouTube thinks I'm younger than I am, so they may say that this is inappropriate and whatever. But you can express yourself. You don't need to apologize for that because what you're saying is valid. And Bobby is one of the first persons that I can remember that kept saying this. That and he doesn't understand why you have fans that believe that you shouldn't have good players on the bench. That is the only way that you develop as a team. If you only have players that are below par, which is the situation we find ourselves in, you're gonna have problems where and we saw that in this game. Cole Palmer was having a difficult time making an impact in the match. He tried a few times, but his impact was minimal. But there's nobody else you could bring on that you could probably have confidence is gonna do something for us. We saw the situation with the midfield. We could not make any change in that midfield. That Maresca believes is good. I mean, Dewsbury Hall, I don't know. But I know Bobby's not a big advocate of Dewsbury Hall, but I mean, that's the situation you find yourself in. Cassidy, he's not even there. Tariq George was in the squad but not on the bench. Those things are frustrating. You need competition. You need somebody to push them. And I'm sure Gavin mentioned this as well. Madueke scored, and he became non-existent for most of that game. And that's the cycle. The cycle is either get a goal, try to get a goal, and after he gets the goal, complacent. I'll just go into my show. I've done what I wanted to. Get a goal, boom, that's it. We don't see him do anything else. So this defeat is frustrating, for me. But I don't have any more thing to do, and health wise, I don't think I'm gonna work myself up again this season. I said what I wanted to say. I repeated it numerous times. I spoke about it in the mid-season review. I said it. The cracks were there, but because a lot of fans were just stuck up by or they were consumed by the wins that we were getting. They were ignoring the problems that would constantly persist if the likes of a Jackson doesn't score or the likes of a Palmer doesn't score. The statistic shows it. Madueke has 6 goals now in the Premier League for us. Uh, Palmer and Jackson in total have around 20 something. So and we have only about 43 goals or 45 now or 46, one of the two. I don't remember what it is. So that's essentially half of your goals from 2 players alone. So what's going to happen then? You rely on them so much, and when they have a poor form, or if they're not having a game where they can score goals, what happens to the team? So you're blinded by that. So when these things happen now, you can't be surprised because it was going to happen because you did not prepare for this. And I don't like it. And I've never liked the fact that Cole Palmer was the main man for us. I don't want us to be Cole Palmer FC. And we find ourselves in a situation where if Jackson doesn't score, Palmer doesn't score, we're going to have problems to score goals. We saw it. We saw it. I want to get Bobby in on the conversation again because he's been, on the back seat for a while.
Yeah, Ty. It's I was wondering. I've been trying to look for Enzo Maresca's post match to see what he has to say. I think he has some of the blame for this, in that the way he's trying to play. If you keep doing the same thing, trying to expect a different result, there's a problem in your thinking. He needed to do something different, especially against Man City. Yeah, the sporting directors, just as Govan said, they have a part to play. I don't get this mentality of offloading the better players. The best players at Chelsea are not there. And where I also are not playing, or they're being sold. And, where I also blame Maresca is he has damaged Carney Chukwemeka. He's damaged him. Carney is a shadow of himself. This is a kid that was doing well last season. He's such a talented player. He's a kid that would have done well in this game, but he's not even in the stands. You know, why? Because they're trying to sell him. I just think it's appalling. I really do. You know, your better players, you're trying to sell them, and you're holding on to injury prone players. Just as Garvin said, yeah, Lavia is a wonderful player, but he's no good to us on the injury table, which is where he has been since he joined the club. Same as Fofana. 3 years out injured. He comes, he gives us a couple of weeks, then he goes for the rest of the season. This is untenable. It's just not something that can continue or should be accepted anymore. We need some tough decisions. Bring back Cassidy, Santos, if you must, and get him to fight for that Lavia position. He can't play. Lavia can't play 90 minutes anyway. So what are you scared of? I mean, it is incredibly frustrating because it's not as if we don't have a team that is incapable. We have a team that's very capable, but the organization has been wrong. Using Gavin's words, the balance isn't right. And when the balance is not right, um, you will struggle. Uh, you know, I don't think Man City really deserved that scoreline. We gave them this game. You can say our goal was by mistake, but we should have been 3-0 up in the first half anyway. But poor finishing. Teams actually roll the dice against us because they know how badly our strikers are when it comes to, when it comes to finishing. And so, they take a chance. It is frustrating. It's incredibly disappointing. And unless somebody somewhere gets his act together and decides to make some solid decisions, um, I'm concerned as to how the season is going to pan out.
To touch on that, sir, Bobby, what you're saying. All right, look on the price tag for Andre Santos, 50 million. Fofana, the striker, I don't remember his name. I know that is David Fofana. We buy him for $10 million. Check the price range, right? What we did, we loaned him in the Premier League. He have an excellent season at Burnley that got relegated. He scored some fantastic goal. We built his price range. We build him up, right? We trying to sell him off for 20 something $million. That's profit. Look at Andre Santos. If Andre Santos was signed for 50, $60 million, he would have been in this Chelsea squad. He wouldn't be out there on loan. We paid $12 million for him, 12 to $15 million. So we're building him up. Sooner or later, a big offer for come in from him. What we're gonna do? We're gonna probably think to sell him. So these owners right now, until for me, they can prove that okay, this is not what we're doing. We're here to win something for Chelsea. I lost my faith today with these sporting directors, which I was suspect of them all summer long because I keep on saying if this go wrong, this will be on them, not the coach. But the way our Chelsea Football Club is running, Connor Chukwemeka, he's on 100 and whatever per week. They freeze him out of the squad. He can be the Cole Palmer replacement, but no, they freeze him out because guess what? They know they can sell him and make a profit. So this is what these sporting directors are doing. Their profit is what they want and what they're looking for and what they need. How much we're gonna have left to sell? We already sell the car park. We already sell the hotels. When we don't got any more players to sell, what we're gonna do? Look at Tyreek George that got a ton load of potential and sell him. You're trying to buy Gonacho. You're not buying Gonacho because you want to keep Gonacho and because Gonacho can help the squad. Because we see that Napoli is trying to sign Gonacho. So what we're doing, we go in for Gonacho. So if we can buy him from Manchester United for a lower price, we can build him up and sell him off later on for another profit. And this is not acceptable because this is not Chelsea Football Club. This is Chelsea Football Club. This is not Nottingham Forest. This is not Brighton. You know what I mean? This is not Arsenal, because Arsenal have been down this road for many, many years. All their top talent leave and go for profit. Chelsea used to be hold off their best players for years. How long do we gonna keep Cole Palmer for if we continue this road? Cole Palmer probably soon want to leave because a lot of these young players, they're seeing that Chelsea is a stepping stone. Just like Renato Vega, he come to Chelsea because what? There's a stepping stone. Soon as he signed for Chelsea, he's in that Portuguese national squad. He's a starter for his country. Now he said, "Oh, I'm not a left back. I want to play left center back." Now he want to go through the door because he's already make his name. The world already know about him. So a lot of these young players gonna sign for Chelsea, yes, because they know that they can use Chelsea as a stepping stone. And Real Madrid always come to shop at Chelsea. But for us as Chelsea fan, die-hearted Chelsea fan, this is not something that we can stand for and bear. Because we're not trying to build a team that can win and dominate for decades. We're building a team that we can make a whole bunch of profit from. These owners are trying to, I'm not saying they're not trying to win, but today it proved to me that now they're trying to make back the money that they used to buy Chelsea Football Club. That's what they're trying to do. Make back the money that they used to buy Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea doesn't deserve this. The people of Chelsea, the history of Chelsea Football Club doesn't deserve this. Chelsea already go through the dark times. Now we should be looking into the light. Why we want to go back when we should looking forward? It's not acceptable at all. I don't care who's Chelsea fan want to say whatever they want to say that I'm picking on players. I pick Chelsea first. If I call my fiance right now, she will tell you, Chelsea first. She always said, "Oh, you love Chelsea more than how you love me." I grew up on Chelsea. I survive on Chelsea Football Club. I was from a rough, bad neighborhood. And I guess what? I used to stay home just to watch Chelsea and watch Chelsea games. That's what kept me out of trouble growing up as a young man. So Chelsea Football Club is everything for me. It's not just to get up and watch Chelsea Football Club and watch the stupidness that these owners and directors are doing. I'm very invested in Chelsea football team. Even when I'm at work, I have to find a way to listen to the game or find some way to connect with Chelsea football team. So I don't want no one to come and tell me that I'm picking on Enzo Fernandez and Nodi Madueke. They're not good enough for my Chelsea football team. Enzo Fernandez is a good player. He doesn't have what it takes to have the stamina to keep up in this Premier League. Premier League, you have to have physicality. Nodi Madueke is trying to be Miss World, a modeler. You want to be the next David Beckham. David Beckham was 1 in a million. You want to walk on the pitch pulling down your shorts and looking cute for what? Get off my pitch. This is Chelsea Football Club.
Wow, 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 wow. What to see after all of that, man? Big up to you, Tim. Big up to you, Tim CFC. You say Maresca out. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say Maresca out because generally, it's like Gavin said. If this doesn't work, I said it when that stream happened back in July. That if it doesn't work, I don't blame the manager at all because two things: it's a manager that's learning still, and two, you're not giving him enough for him to succeed. So at the end of the day, you can't really blame the man completely. He does deserve scrutiny, yes. I'm not going to pretend as if, oh, it's just the sporting directors this or the owners did this. But just like Roderick says here, and I didn't even know that Roderick saw that tweet. But I said that we're like Amazon. We're buying and then we're selling for profits. That's literally it. Or we sell we're selling our academic players because we believe that they can get us profits, and they can, because obviously you brought them in, so you can probably get them, you can probably sell them and get a profit for them. But one of the biggest problems that I have seen is, and Gavin mentioned it, is the fact that they're just selling and they say, oh, how was it, Bobby? I don't remember who said it, but the essence of it is that, if you keep selling, who else you gonna sell? And the narrative of, oh, we had to, we were trying to get rid of Chalaba because of PSR. That's garbage. You don't get rid of good players, or players that can actually help you as you step up and then probably get a better defender in the future. Because Chalaba, to me, he's way better than what we started the season with. But what we did wrong is the fact that we opted to trust some players over him because he's a academy graduate, and we didn't have to buy him, so we can sell him, and anything we sell him for is a profit. But it's like Garvan said, when you blame certain players, or you criticize them because you think that they should be doing better, or they should be proving that they deserve to be on the pitch for Chelsea, it's a problem. But you have to criticize the players, because at the end of the day, you can blame the manager for this, but the manager should be able to trust certain players to go on, use common sense, common knowledge, because anybody that plays Sunday football and all of that, they know that you need to know the basics. Your skill set should include that you know when to offload the ball efficiently to create a chance for your team, and not try to be selfish, not try to get goals because you want to add to your tally. No, that's important as well, but you need to not jeopardize the team's progression to do that. So it is frustrating, and I understand your frustration, Gordon, because I know, and you said it. You have a deep love and passion for Chelsea. You say you have a daughter as well, and all that. So obviously it shows the love. So the frustration is understandable, and it's not something where it's coming from a place of nonsense. We lost a match that, as Bobby said, we didn't have to lose, because at the end of the day, we saw that City were there for the taking. We could have beaten them because they struggled as well. They were shaky. They knew young defender Kusinov, he was having problems. So we could have beaten them, and the chances were there. We didn't post on that. But I think the game plan, there was nothing wrong with the game plan in terms of the application, not the application, in terms of what you wanted to apply. But the application of it didn't work out in the end, because the players were not doing what needed to do to ensure that they could add to that lead. You get a lead in the first 3 minutes. You need to post on that, get a second, because you know the pattern. You may get the lead, and then your opponent may score, because the defense has a little gap between it and the midfield, because you don't have Lavia there, you don't have anybody. I'm going to stop using the word, the name Lavia, or the player Lavia. You don't have any other midfielder to support Casado defensively. As I said before, Enzo tries to do it, but the physicality of the Premier League, it doesn't suit him. And this is why I said I don't think he suits the Premier League as well. Garwan said the same. I don't think Enzo Fernandez suits the Premier League. I'm not blaming him. I'm not saying that we lost because of him, because a lot of fans are able to just simply twist what you say to imply that you're blaming one player for a loss. No, it's not one player that caused us to lose. And I wouldn't say Enzo Fernandez was the reason we lost, because Enzo Fernandez did not do anything that I didn't expect him to do. So at the end of the day, we need to understand that the situation is what it is. We didn't go into the season with an efficient plan and blueprint. And I've discussed the blueprint, the model of Chelsea, and under this new ownership, the sporting directors. But I'm going to add this too. At the end of the day, if you sack Pochettino, and everybody is not for the Pochettino, but if you sack Pochettino, you need to ensure that the next manager that you bring in, they don't suffer the same feats as the former manager did, and that's exactly what's going on now. We may not have as much historic injuries, but we're having problems where you're seeing players not being available. For Fana, Bobby mentioned it. He's out for 2 seasons. He comes back. He's here for 2 months. Then he's injured. He comes back again. He gets injured after playing. You need to plan for worst case. Chelsea should see that that's the pattern. Injuries are hitting every team, left, right, and center, and you need to make every effort that you can to ensure that doesn't repeat. But I want to to get you guys to come back in. I don't want this stream to be too long because we will be repeating ourselves. But anything else you want to say, Bobby, before I go to the one?
It's very
You
difficult.
know,
It's sorry, sorry. Go
sorry,
on,
go ahead,
Gavin.
Sir Bobby. Go ahead, Sir Bobby.
I, I was just going to quickly say that it's very difficult to make many more conclusions after a very poor outcome like this. You know, while you were talking, I was at the same time listening to Enzo Maresca's post match, and there wasn't anything he said there that was worth even listening to. Um, we need a reaction. W- We need to him to come up and do something a little bit different. And you're right, you know, we know our chronic injuries, we know the players, you know, we know the solutions even. Gavin was so right and reminded us how, why are we looking for a left winger when we have Jackson, who is a left winger? And, you know, why don't we just put somebody in that striking slot that needs to be there? Why are we persisting with Cole Palmer when really the substitution today could have been Jackson moved to the left for Sancho, Palmer off for Nkunku, and you bring Gui on. I mean, what are they doing on the training field if you can't, you know, utilize your team in that way? Um, I think Man City realized that we lacked that physicality in midfield. And when he brought on John Stones, he not only locked up their midfield from a defensive point of view, he brought aggression that we were lacking. And the only aggressive midfielder we have is Caicedo. The rest are all weaklings. And yeah, we talk about inverting this player, inverting that player. When you invert too much, like Reece James was getting inverted so much that there were chasms of space on the right. That's how Vardio ended up scoring. Um, I don't know. I feel quite frustrated by it all because I think there's a lot that's wrong, and I just think they need to go back and redress their approach to games. The game management today was terrible. You know, yeah, all very well. Maresca saying, yeah, we did well in this first half. We did. We should have been 2 or 3 goals up at the end of the first half. We should. The goal that was scored. I mean, why Sanchez never gathers the ball? He's always parrying, always the balls bouncing off of him. It's, you know, anyway, it's that those changes need to start by the next game. If not, then as I've said earlier, I will have concerns for how the rest of the season, you know, pans out. As far as the owners are concerned and selling players, I think ah, I just think they've got some things wrong. Chalobah, definitely they got that wrong. If anybody should have been frozen out, it should have been the likes of Desassi and Badiashile. I understand why they hesitated to do that because they actually bought them. But sometimes you just have to hold your hand up and say, well, look, you know, this was a bad buy. They've done it before. They did it with what's his name? Gosh, Sterling. You know, they've got to hold their hands up. And you know, now I worry about somebody like Chukwemeka because he's been dampened. His game has been destroyed. You know, young players are very impressionable, and if you take away their confidence, it affects them. And I think it has already affected him because he's showing in the Conference League has not been that great. And this freezing him out at the age of 20 is not good, because just as Gavin said, that was a player where on form would be somebody who could come on for Cole Palmer, possibly even ahead of João Felix. There's a lot of imbalance that needs to be addressed, and it can be addressed easily, but they're going to have the will to do it.
How about you, Garvin?
I'm agree with everything that Sir Bobby said. To be honest, because I don't want to go on another 20-minute run. So I 100% agree with everything that Sir Bobby said.
I'm muted. I'm muted. Right. Well, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining on the panel and for expressing your thoughts. I know I didn't really do the hosting duty as much as I wanted to. A lot of issues on my end, but thank you guys for stepping in and giving your thoughts and expressing yourself. Appreciate both of you, and thank you for those who are watching. Obviously, thanks again to Jerry for the membership donations or the gifted donation, the gifted membership, and for the donation that he gave initially as well. Um, JPT was here as well, so big up to JPT. Makinuam, big up to you. Um, Miss Melina was also here, so big up to her. Um, Tim CFC, this has green turf, but I don't think it's a real green turf. Anyways, Roderick, thank you as well. I appreciate all of you, and thank you guys for watching as well. But yeah, another defeat this season and another setback in the push for top four and to return to Champions League. Hopefully, we will see better Chelsea the next game. The next match, I believe, in the Premier League is against West Ham. So hopefully, we can do better. But now we find ourselves in a very dangerous situation as we could finish outside of the top four and not progress on last season. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the season isn't done and dusted for us in terms of the top four battle. But this result doesn't do us any favor for sure. Thanks again for joining, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Big up, Sir Bobby. It's a pleasure.
Thanks. As always, Gavin, as always. Let's hope
Yeah,
for the
thanks for joining again, man.
West
Yeah,
Ham. That's not going to be easy, but we'll see.
yeah.